Michael, big focus on Europe, a lot of enthusiasm, optimism that we can carry on doing this and accelerate. Can we?
Well, look, there's been a tremendous amount of good economic news out of the Eurozone. That's no secret. After the last 12 months, they've had some of the biggest, on a relative basis and even on an absolute basis, they've probably put in more growth than any other major economy there. And of course, they've been trapped in a situation where reforms are desperately needed. And now you're seeing signs of that. You're seeing, I think just this morning on Bloomberg there was a headline about a lot of firings going on at big French companies. That's not a headline you typically see. The question is for European equities is that A, you don't have a tech component, right? In the way you don't have a FANG component, you don't have a Facebook over there the way you do in the U.S. or for that matter China. And I think the other factor, of course, is their central bank policy is really targeted much more around currency strength than the Fed's is, and that's going to be an increasing headwind. If you look at the correlation of the European equities with the euro, it's a negative one, and it's starting to strengthen more and more.
So, Chris Grisanti, a couple of points there, and I want to pick out one of them. The idea that there are no big tech companies on the Stock 600, on the Euro Stoxx 50. Right. What looks like value can look like a value trap. Now, I know you can speak to that quite well. Why does that matter so much in Europe right now?
Well, Jonathan, I think what you're seeing now is the catch-up of the non-tech companies trying to kind of take over market leadership. And then we've had some success in January. The value index, though, has suffered greatly in the last couple of weeks. And so I still think there are pockets of value even in an expensive market, both here and in Europe.
Well, walk me through Europe. Where?
Sure. Well, in Europe, we see the automakers like BMW as being interesting stocks here. They, again, lag the market. We see great cash flows. And again, just like the United States, we see a resurgent economy. Resurgent being a relative term.